Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Sorry, I just logged out. Hare Krishna. So we'll continue chapter 15 today. The Transcendental Madness of Lord Sri Chaitanya. Okay. Can you all hear me now? Somebody else was the host, so I could not unmute. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so we'll continue chapter 15. That's just 99 slokas. The Transcendental Madness of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta. The ocean of ecstatic love for Krishna is very difficult to understand, even for such demigods as Lord Brahma. By enacting his pastime, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu submerged himself in that ocean and his heart was absorbed in that love. Thus, he exhibited in various ways the exalted position of the transcendental love for Krishna. Okay, so he was in Vipralamba Bhav, and even Lord Brahma could not understand. So, what about us? It is said that ecstatic love for Krishna is very difficult to understand, even for Lord Brahma. Now, especially after the Brahma Vimohan Lila, Lord Brahma says, okay, might be everyone else understood Krishna, but then I, as Brahma, I say that I didn't understand you. Because that he got bewildered, right? Because of the pastime, he could not understand Brahma. Because it says Krishna's pastime, to understand Krishna's pastime is like impossible, like you holding a sun in the hand. Can you hold the sun in hand? No, it's impossible. Similarly, to know about Krishna's pastimes is impossible to know because it's transcendental ecstasy. Oh, Mataji, 14 we finished now. Oh, it's the feelings of separation from Krishna. Okay. Yeah. Good, you know. Okay. Yeah, then we'll go to the bad. Okay. So we'll start this. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, it's Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feeling of separation from Krishna. Okay. Yes, we first separation, then we'll see the madness. Okay. I shall now describe a very small portion of the activities performed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his mind, intelligence, and body when he was bewildered by strong feeling of separation from Krishna. So this was Vipralamba Bhav, which Mahaprabhu experienced. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra, the life and soul of his devotees. All glories to Lord Nityananda, who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very life, and all glories to Advaita Acharya, who is extremely dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Swarup Damodar and all other devotees headed by Srivas Thakur. Please give me the strength to describe the characters of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotion of transcendental madness and separation from Krishna is very deep and mysterious. Even though one is very advanced and learned, he cannot understand it. How can one describe unfathomable subject matters? It's possible only if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives him the capability. Krishna Shakti Bina Nahi Hua Parivartan. We need to be empowered by Krishna to understand about Krishna. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami recorded all these transcendental activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in their notebooks. In those days, Swarup Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami lived with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whereas all other commentators lived far away from him. So Swarup Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami could understand everything about Mahaprabhu because they lived in close association with Mahaprabhu. These two great personalities, Swarup Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami, recorded the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moment by moment. So nice for us. They described these activities briefly as well as elaborated in their notes. Swarup Damodar wrote short notes, whereas Raghunath Das wrote elaborate description. I shall now describe Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities more elaborately as a fulfilling out compressed cotton, fluffing out compressed cotton. Please hear faithfully this description of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic emotion. Thus, you will come to know his ecstatic love and ultimately you will achieve love of Godhead. This is again Shruti Phala. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt separation from Krishna, his condition exactly corresponded to that of the gopis in Vrindavan after Krishna departure to Mathura. So how was gopis, no? So much crying and so much in separation from Krishna that every moment they were thinking about Krishna. The lamentation of Srimati Radharani when Uddhava visited Vrindavan gradually became a feature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental madness. Now, does anyone remember when Uddhava came with the letter to the gopis and Radharani? What did Radharani do? She didn't talk to Uddhava, but what did she do instead? No idea?
Into the bumblebee.
She was talking to the bumblebee, right? Because she was completely lost, that she didn't even realize that Uddhava has come, that she was talking to a bumblebee that has come. Where is my sick Krishna? And she was crying in separation. But then it is said Krishna himself came as that bumblebee in order to taste that separation from Radharani and to taste her love for Krishna. So yes, she was absorbed in that bumblebee. Okay, because wherever Krishna walks, the bumblebees always follow Krishna. Why? Because Krishna always wear a wine chain, mala, and Krishna's nectar comes out of Krishna. It's like very sweet, no? So the bumblebees always like to drink that honey. So it is said when Krishna plays hide and seek, it's very easy to find out Krishna. Why? Wherever Krishna hides in the bushes or anywhere, there'll be a group of bumblebees around. So the Gopas can easily find out Krishna. They just look for hide and seek. They will see where everyone have hidden, and there will be a group of bumblebees around. That place Krishna will be hiding. So it's very easy to. Krishna's like, why every time I am only getting caught? Then this is the bumblebees are the reason. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotion, exactly. So at that time when Radharani was experiencing a separation from Krishna, Krishna was thinking, why is Radharani feeling so much separation? I want to taste that. That's why he came as Mahaprabhu. Now he started tasting that separation which Radharani felt. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotion exactly corresponded to that of Srimati Radharani when she met Uddhava. The Lord always conceived of himself in her position and sometimes thought he was Radharani herself. So that's why it is said, great Vaishnavas, they say when they worship Gauranitais, sometimes they don't keep peacock feather for Gauranga. Most of the homes I have seen, they don't keep peacock feather for Gauranga. Why? Because Gauranga is Radharani, Srimati Radharani. The mood and bhav and complexion is of Radharani. No? It's Krishna, but in the mood of Radharani. But then it is said here, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conceived himself in the position and sometimes he thought he's Radharani herself. Such is the state of transcendental madness. Why is it difficult to understand? When one is highly elevated in love of Krishna, he becomes transcendently mad and talks like a madman. Okay, transcendently mad. When the ecstatic emotions of enchanting gradually progresses, it becomes similar to bewilderment. Then one reaches the statement of astonishment. Why Chitri? When I awaken transcendental madness. Udgurna and Chitra Jalpa are two among the many divisions of transcendental madness. One day, while he was resting, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dreamed he saw Krishna performing his rasa dance. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Lord Krishna standing with his beautiful body curved in three places. Tribhanga Lalita he is now, holding his flute to his lips, wearing yellow garment and garland of forest flowers. He was enchanting even to Cupid. So this is how we should meditate the Lord's form, the three-bended form, holding the flute and wearing yellow garments and garland of forest flowers. The gopis were dancing in a circle, and in the middle of the circle, Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, danced with Radharani. Okay, seeing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed with transcendental mellow of rasa dance, and he thought, now I am with Krishna in Vrindavan. So once when Prabhupada was asked to speak about rasa dance, what did Prabhupada reply? Does anyone know? So many asked Prabhupada, can you please talk about rasa dance? What did Prabhupada reply? No idea?
No, he said I'm not qualified, so I cannot talk about.
Yes, mother. It's like you might be qualified to hear it. I'm not qualified to speak about it. So Prabhupada is saying this, and who are we to speak about rasa dance? So when Govinda saw that the Lord has not risen, he awakened him, understanding that he had only been dreaming. The Lord was somewhat unhappy because he thought, oh, I am there with Krishna, because he's in the power of Radharani now, no? So that's why he's like, oh, I'm with Krishna in Vrindavan. And then he's like, oh, I'm dreaming. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his customary daily duties, and at the usual time, he went to see Lord Jagannath in the temple. As he viewed Lord Jagannath from behind the Garuda column, hundreds and thousands of people in front of him were seeing the deity. Suddenly, this is what happened. A woman from Orissa, unable to see the Lord Jagannath because of the crowd, climbed on the column of Garuda, placing her foot on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shoulder. Okay, is this offense? Put in the chat. Is this offense? She could not get darshan of Jagannath, so she climbed on the Garuda Stamba and placed her foot on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shoulder, who's Krishna. Is this offense? Just put yes or no. Is this aparadh? Oh, I have so much intelligent people in the class. Everybody thinks it's no, huh? No aparat. Okay, only Saravana Jyoti Mataji thinks it's aparat. Okay, let's see. When he saw this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personal servant Govinda hastily got her down from her position. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, chastised him for this. Mahaprabhu chastised him, and not that lady. But then Govinda told her to come down, get down. But then Mahaprabhu didn't. Mahaprabhu chastised Govinda, not that lady. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Govinda, "Oh Adivasya, uncivilized men, do not forbid this woman to climb the Garuda Stamba. Let her see Lord Jagannath to her satisfaction." When the woman came to her senses, however, she quickly climbed down to the ground and seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she begged at her lotus feet for forgiveness. She didn't know, she didn't do it in the senses. Like, for example, yeah, higher before, for example, when Krishna went to Vidura's house, what did Vidura's wife, give Krishna? What did she offer?
A peel of banana.
Peel of banana.
Yes.
It is actually offensive to, can we give peel of banana to Krishna as an offering? Will you all do that? It's offense. But then is it offense for Vidura's wife? No, because she did it out of ecstasy. She was so shocked to see Krishna that she was peeling the banana and just throwing the banana and giving peel to Krishna. And it's out of love, Krishna accepted it. Krishna ate it. No, so you can't say that's offense. So similarly here, she did it for, like, Govinda also did once, no? When Mahaprabhu was lying on the doorway, that he crossed him and went to do the massage of his feet, but he didn't cross him back. Okay, so in that way, and once Srila Prabhupada also, like in his room, they wanted to hang some Krishna's picture on top where Prabhupada is sitting, and then Mataji could not reach, so she climbed on Prabhupada's chair. No, she asked permission. Prabhupada, I can't reach, what to do? Prabhupada is like, you can climb on my chair and then hang the picture of Krishna. To do service to Krishna, you can do it, anything. Like, you should not do offense purposely, but then she already got permission from Chaitanya Prabhupada, right? So here, this lady, unknowingly she did it. She was so ecstasy to see Jagannath that she didn't even see who that was near her, that she climbed the Garuda Stamba and kept the leg on Mahaprabhu's shoulder to see Jagannath, to take darshan. But then immediately when she came to her senses, she got down and she begged that forgiveness. This is what we do when we do our Vaishnava Aparat. But then she didn't do it purposely. She didn't do it purposely. Seeing the women's eagerness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Lord Jagannath has not bestowed so much eagerness upon me. See, she's so eager to see Jagannath, and Mahaprabhu is like, I'm not so eager to see the Lord. She has fully absorbed her body, mind, and life in Lord Jagannath. Thus, she was unaware that she was putting her foot on my shoulder. So it's not aparat. She was not knowing it, doing it purposely. Alas, how fortunate is this woman. Radharani is saying this. I pray at her feet that she favor me with her great eagerness to see Lord Jagannath. I feel that even I should have that eagerness. Just previously, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been seen Lord Jagannath as Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, in person. Becoming fully absorbed in that vision, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has assumed the mood of gopis. So much so that everywhere he looked, he saw Krishna standing with the flute to his lips. Swapnera darshana veshe tatru bahaila mana yahan tahan deke sarvatra murali vadana yahan tahan deke. Everywhere he saw Krishna standing with the flute. After seeing the women, the Lord's external consciousness returned, and he saw the original deity forms of Lord Jagannath, Subhadra, and Lord Balaram. When he saw the deities, Lord Chaitanya thought he was seeing Krishna in Kurukshetra. He wondered how I have come to Kurukshetra. Where is Vrindavan? Yeah. So the bhav is different in Kurukshetra and Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya grew very much agitated, like a person who has just lost a recently acquired jewel. Then he became very morose and returned home. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down because he says, Aradhi Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Tadama Vrindavanam. Right? He wanted to see Krishna in Vrindavan, Vraja form, not in the Kurukshetra form. There's a lot of difference, though. In Kurukshetra, Krishna is like a warrior with, the kavach and the helmet with the sword, with his shankha and all that. And with slippers, he's like the king form. But in Vrindavan, Vraja, no slippers. He has a nice mukut with peacock feather, flute. Now that cute form you can't see anywhere else. For me, Lord Chaitanya grew very much agitated, like a person who has lost a jewel. Then he returned home. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down on the ground and began to mark it with his fingernails. He was blinded by tears which flowed from his eyes like Ganges. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I found Krishna, the Lord of Vrindavan, but have lost him again. You have taken my Krishna. Where have I come? So this is the mood of separation. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dreamed of the rasa dance, he was fully absorbed in the transcendental bliss. But when his dream broke, he thought he has lost a precious well. He was again dreaming. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant and dance and always absorb in the bliss of transcendental madness. He carried out the necessities of the body, just as eating, bathing, merely out of habit. This is what even Prahlad Maharaj used to do. It's completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness that outside things was just a mere habit. At night, Lord Chaitanya would reveal to Sarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai the ecstatic feelings of his mind. It's only to Lalita and Vishaka Radharani used to reveal. It says that when Radharani was in separation from Krishna, she thought to end her life. She climbed Govardhan so that she can jump off. But then Govardhan decreased his size. And she also wanted to jump in the Yamuna, and the Yamuna dried up. So it's just a pastime that because Radharani and Krishna is never separated. They are always together, right? It's no difference between them. Dui vastu bedina hi shastrera pramad. There's no difference. Can you separate the sunlight from sun? No. So Radha is the Shakti and Krishna Purna Shaktiman. Dui vastu bedina. There's no difference. They're always together. But then this is pastime that there's a separation because there's the highest with Pralabha Bhav. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, at first my mind somehow achieved the treasure of Krishna, but again I lost it. Therefore, I gave up my body and home because of lamentation and accepted the religious principles of Kapalika Yogi. Then my mind went to Vrindavan with his disciples, my senses. Having lost his acquired gem, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became overwhelmed with lamentation by remembering its attribute. Then grasping the neck of Ramananda Rai and Sarup Damodar, he cried, alas, where is my Lord Hari? Where is Hari? And finally he became restless and lost all patience. My dear friends, he said, please hear of Krishna's sweetness. Because of a great desire for that sweetness, my mind has given up all social and Vedic religious principles and taken to the profession of begging, exactly like a mystic yogi. The ring of Krishna's Rasa Lila, manufactured by Shukadev Goswami, the most auspicious craftsman, is as pure. Yeah, there were two Krishnas, and Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Krishna is always in Vrindavan, but in Vrindavan, he was in a separation form. He didn't come in front of the gopis and the Radharani. He was not revealing to the Vrajavasis. He was in Vrindavan, but in separation, because that's the highest form. This is for the pastime. Okay, so Shukadev Goswami have told this Bhagavatam, and it is as pure as earring made of conch shell. The yogi of my mind is wearing that earring upon his ear. For a god, he have carved out of the ball of my aspiration, and he has taken the back of my expectations on his shoulders. The yogi of my mind wears the torn quilt of anxiety on his dirty body. It is covered with dust and ashes. His only words are, alas, Krishna. He wears 12 bangles of distress on his wrist and turban of greed on his head. Because he has not eaten anything, he is very thin. The great yogi of my mind, he's saying about his mind, he always studies the poetry and discussion of Lord Krishna's Vrindavan pastime. In Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures, great saintly yogis like Vyasdev and Shukadev Goswami have described Lord Krishna as the super soul beyond all material contamination. The mystic yogi of my mind has assumed the name Mahāprabhu and made disciples of my 10 senses. Thus, my mind has gone to Vrindavan. So his mind is in Vrindavan, leaving aside the home of my body and the great treasure of material enjoyment. In Vrindavan, he goes from door to door begging alms with all his disciples. That's Madhukari. He begs from both moving and inert inhabitants, the citizens, the trees and creepers. In this way, he lives on fruits, roots and leaves. The gopis of Brajabhumi always taste the nectar of Krishna's attributes, his beauty, his sweetness, his aroma, the sound of his flute and touch of his body. It seems Krishna have different flutes like Venu, Murali, Basuri. There's so many ways of calling it, and their holes depend on which flute it is, like 6 holes, 7, 9. And it says each tune he has for each, like the fifth note is for gopis, then another note for the cows, for the gopas. He have different tunes. By mind's 5 disciples, the senses of perception, gather the remnants of that nectar from the gopis and bring them to the yogi of my mind. The senses maintain their lives by eating those remnants. There is a solitary garden where Krishna enjoys his pastime. And in one corner of the pavilion in that garden, the yogi of my mind, along with his disciples, practice mystic yoga. Wanting to see Krishna directly, This yogi remains awake throughout the night, meditating on Krishna, who is the super soul, uncontaminated by the three modes of nature. When my mind lost the association of Krishna and could no longer see him, he became depressed and took up mystic yoga. In the void of separation from Krishna, he experienced 10 transformations. Agitated by these transformations, my mind fled, leaving my body, whose place of residence empty. Thus, I am completely in trance. When the gopis felt separation from Krishna, they experienced 10 kind of bodily transformation. The same symptoms appeared in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What are they? The 10 bodily transformations resulting from separation of Krishna: anxiety, wakefulness, mental agitation, thinness, uncleanness, talking like a madman, disease, madness, illusion, and death. That's for the body, okay? Bodily changes this is. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed night and day by these 10 ecstatic conditions. Whereas such symptoms arose, his mind became unsteady. After speaking in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell silent. Then Ramananda Rai began to recite various verses. Ramananda Rai recited verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sarup Damodar Goswami sang of Krishna's pastime. In this way, they brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to external consciousness. He was going to Samadhi. After half the night has passed away in this way, Ramananda Rai and Sarup Damodar Goswami made Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lie down on his bed in the inner room. Then Ramananda Rai returned home, and Sarup Damodar Goswami and Govinda lay down in front of the door to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's room. Because sometimes he might just go out. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained awake throughout the entire night, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra very loudly. After some time, Sarup Damodar could no longer hear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting. So this is one clue that when our mind gets agitated, the Mahaprabhu's mind is getting agitated because of ecstatic symptom, but our mind gets agitated because of material contaminations, material distress. So just chant Hare Krishna loudly. Everything will be okay. After some time, Sarup Damodar could no longer hear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting. When he entered the room, he found 3 doors locked, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was gone. The same thing happened now when Mahaprabhu was young. Does anyone remember? The door was locked, still Nimai could escape. Which pastime was that? Anyone remembers? Somehow Jagannath Mishra and Sachimada made Nimai sleep and they locked the door, but Nimai was outside. No?
The Brahmana who was staying in his house, no? Like
Yeah,
he
who
was.
offered, yes.
Yeah,
So,
Krishna.
yes.
When he
So,
offered, this one is to come and eat. Yeah.
So the Brahmana used to come, all of you remember, then 3 times he used to cook and then offer, and Nimai somehow escapes and come and eat the bogs, because the Brahmana will pray, Gopal, please accept my bog, please accept my bog. And Gopal will come in form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and accept the bog. And 3rd time they locked the door, still Nimai put everyone to sleep and Nimai used to escape. You are calling Gopal, I am Gopal, he used to say. Okay. Okay, we'll do just 10 more slokas because another class is going to happen soon, only on Wednesdays. So we just close soon. All the devotees were very anxious when they saw that the Lord was not in the room. They wandered about searching for him with a warning lamp. He is Krishna. You don't have to open the door and go. No? After searching for some time, they came upon Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lying in the corner of the northern side of Simhadwara gate. At first, they were overjoyed to see him, but when they saw his condition, all devotees headed by Sarup Damodar Goswami was very anxious. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was lying unconscious and his body has become elongated to 5 or 6 cubits. There were no breath from his nostrils. Almost like dead he was. Each of his arm and legs had become 3 cubits long. Only skin connected the separate joints. Skin. The Lord's body's temperature indicating life was very low. This happens now during death. The temperature comes down. There's a rigor mortis and it it become cold. All the joints, arms, legs, necks, waist were separated by at least 6 inches. It appeared that only skin covered his elongated joints. Seeing the Lord's condition, all the devotees were very unhappy. They almost died when they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his mouth full of saliva and foam and his eyes turned upward. When they saw the Sarup Damodar Goswami and all the devotees began to chant the holy name of Krishna very loudly into Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ear. This is how they used to bring him out of ecstasy. Right. After they had chanted in this way for a long time, the holy name of Krishna entered the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and suddenly arose with a loud shout, Hari Bol. Okay, so that's how they brought him to this thing. Senses. So tomorrow we'll cover this 123 slokas. We'll cover for tomorrow. Okay. So really sorry, I need to go. And Okay. Yes, Hare Krishna, Prafula Mataji.